Hi, Shalom, my king. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rekha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect. This teaches word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And yeah, today I just want to tie this lesson. He's all about violence, you know, which the violent man is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's the one that's matter of fact, let's get this real quick in Genesis the 27th chapter, because this is his blessing. Is to yield the sword, and what only thing can come from yielding the sword? Destruction, death, violence. And that's what this so-called white man, which is the biblical Edomites. That's what he's all about, man. You know, that's what he's all about, and you see it by the way of him. He's a footprint. You know, in all these different countries, which is a military embassy, you know, and also by the way of this man's his laws and legislations, which ultimately is geared to him justifying bringing forth the military on the people, man. He even this devil even waged war on the American people. Start off by the way of this Patriot Act, you know. So on all levels, this man is all about violence, man. On all levels. So this is Genesis 27 and 40. It says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live." See? So this was pretty much when Isaac was Esau, he wept for a blessing, which, he already gave him, but it was just a consolation. So to top everything off, Isaac gave him the sword. It said, "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." So pretty much this man's blessing, was the sword. That's why I tell you there in Revelation the 6th chapter, it was given to that red horse a great sword. Well, that's what you see now, man. By the way, this man is military. He actually can take flight by the way of his fighter jets. This man got tanks and all type of weaponry. But also that sword ain't just pretty much bossed off to just that. These foods, the air you breathe, the water you drink, the medicine you take, the so-called medicine that this man gives you, all that is under the banner of the sword, man. And this is how he's living. This is how he was able to prosper. This is how he was able to grow. And that's how he always rationalized things out, was really just to kill you, man. Because we coming in a time where he's about to come down with great wrath, And he's speaking on the first by the way of his laws and his legislations. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10. And bear with me. Yeah, this is Proverbs 10 and 11. It said, "The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life." See? Which that righteous man is Yahushai. It tells you that he said, "The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." So these words, the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is a well of life. This is actually going to lead to life. It says, "But violence covered the mouth of the wicked." And yeah, that's pretty much every time this man opened his mouth, it's violence that comes forth, man. This nigga Biden just made a proclamation. This is going to be a wartime effort to defeat the Crown Vic, which, who are the carriers of the crown? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, man. You Israelites. That needle is pointing towards you. So every time this man opens his mouth, he's speaking against the Israelites, man. But it said violence covered the mouth. That's what this man is all about. Violence, man. Oh, it tells you that is that, let me see, let's get that Psalm 73. Tell you that violence is covering him as a garment, man. That's his uniform. That's what he's all about. That's his covering. This is form of protection, just to gnash upon you with his teeth, which is his military. Every time this man has gotten some type of corner or, you know, bossed off, he always reverts to the sword. This is the book of Psalm 73, and I started at 5. It said, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Yeah, it was a point in time where this devil, you know, uh, he wasn't looking over his shoulder. Now he's doing that because of the word, but he was able to go across the world, and rob everyone, man. Until he violently take away flocks and remove landmarks, you know. And there was no one to contest him. Oh, that's why it tells you in Revelation 13 chapter, who was able to make war with this beast, Because this man, and, he pretty much mastered violence, It said, therefore, pride compassing them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. See, that's this man, his covering, violence. That's his uniform. That's what he's all about. That's what he represents. He's the embodiment of violence, man. He don't just wage war on you openly. This man, through his laws, his legislations, put these things into work, man. He's sharpening that sword. The well when he do come down, it's gonna be just one swift hack, man. But that's what this devil's all about, violence, man. Matter of fact, let's go continue on in the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 140. In verse 1, it said, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man." See? Preserve me from the violent man. And who else could they be talking about but the so-called white man himself, the Edomites. It said, "the violent man." That lets you know that he's the standard of violence. He's the embodiment of violence. Oh, it tells you that even the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, man. His form of peace, is pretty much having troops with AR-15s guard, so-called that's his form of peace. Peacekeepers, that's his form of peace, is to send a damn Apache helicopter over your land, and you got a band of troops. You know what I mean? Coming down with AR-15s, and that's how peace is gonna be established by that, man. So this is the violent man. It says, which imagine mischiefs in their hearts. See? So to let you know, those mischiefs is pretty much ultimately gonna lead to the violence, man. By the way, like I said, these different laws and legislation that are being passed, that's why you had these certain false flags attacks, just so they can wage war on the people, man. Which ultimately they want to get to the Israelites. It said, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. It says, continually are they gathered together for war. See? So this man's always at war. Now let's just say it wasn't no actual war that was going on that year, or anything like that. But I bet you that nigga was passing some. He was writing the legislation so he can justify going to war. It said they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. See? So let you know the things that they're speaking is pretty much set up to kill you. Ultimately, that's matter of fact, continue on. It says, "Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man, who have purpose to overthrow my goings." And how he's doing that, by the way, these legislations, man. His rhetoric, what he puts forth on the media, it's all set up to justify to bring that military. Because that's what a nigga do. When he feel like he's in trouble, he's not gonna try to have a fair fight with you. The nigga and just get the scrap. And that's had always been the case for the so-called white man. Oh, it tells you they're under their lips. Matter of fact, let's continue on in the book of Psalm. And then this Psalm 57, I believe. Bear with me. It might be 56. Bear with me, I can. It might be. Let's see. Okay, yep. This is Psalm 59:7. It says, "Behold, they belch out with their mouth." See, and you go into that word belch. It pretty much going to a violent speaking, man. You know, it says swords are in their lips. For who say they doth hear? See, so they don't know, about Red 84 and Operation Garden Plot and these different things that's being passed, you know, why they got the smoke screen in front of you by the way of, because a lot of these things was signed on Obama. He had these ABC people to have freedom of, the so-called get married and have all these different rights, not knowing that he's signing off on caskets and, justifying going into your house, already spying on you by the way these different devices with cameras, and what can record, you know. So this nigga is pretty much sharpening that sword, and he's waging war, man. You know, that's what he's all about. He is the sword. He's the embodiment of destruction, man. You know, it tells you that they are the sword of the Lord. You read in the Psalms 17, man. That they are the sword of the Lord, man. The left hand of Yahweh Shema Shai, the so-called white man, which is that violent man. Let's see, and that's how this place was established. Matter of fact, you just ask anybody, how was America established? We can tell you it was by the way of violence through bloodshed. This is Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. See, and it lets you know as a testament because we still here, man. You know that this man, how the way this country was established was by the way of bloodshed, lies, and robbery, man. I will tell you the thief coming not but to steal, kill, and to destroy, man. That's what this devil is all about. So you trust him, that means you want to die. You know? What's that? Who will pit a charmer that's been with a serpent? You know what a serpent is capable of. And then it's not like you can give counsel to a snake, like, don't bite me, Mr. Snake. No, man. That's in his DNA to strike. You know? It's in his DNA when he bites you that venom is being inserted in you, man. And that's what you see now by the way of he trying to inoculate you. You know? But that's what he's all about. He's about bloodshed, lies, and robbery. Oh, it tells you blood is nothing in the sight of this man. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Blood is nothing in the sight of this man. He loved it. He loved blood. Let's see. I think it's 8. Let's see. Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Sirach 8 in verse 16. It says, "Strive not with an angry man." See, and who's the angry man? Esau, Edom. That's another characteristic of this devil. He tells you that Cain was wroth. Esau was wroth. That dragon was wroth. Because ultimately he's pissed because that blessing is not coming towards him, man. It's not falling in his favor, and his time is up. Everything that he pushing forth now is not, like I said, it's not falling in his favor, man. He's being dried up. It tells you that the Lord, he frustrated the tokens of this wicked man. So he's frustrated. So what's the only thing he can do now? Bring forth the sword. It says, "And go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight." See? So blood is that lets you know that's a real killer right there, man. He's not skirmish when it comes down to shedding blood. It's not like this nigga. You got Jake. They got that spirit of Esau on. They pretty much are many Edomites where they have guns. They like to rob. Well, that comes from a so-called white man. But one thing about Esau, he don't close his eyes when he shoot. He actually enjoy, shedding blood. That's why I said for blood is as nothing in his sight. He don't hate blood. He actually love it. He embrace it. It says, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. See? And that lets you know he got his eyes set on us, man. He's trying to overthrow us, man. And it's going to be by the way of violence and how he's going to try to do this. Esau don't never diplomatically work nothing out, man. He's going to do it by the way of violence. But at the end of the day, that violence is going to return upon him. Matter of fact. Because that's going to be fitting. That's going to be justice. Yahweh Shema Shai overthrowing this man by the way of violence. Because that's how he always. Matter of fact, let me get one more precept real quick before I get that. This, I think it's Psalms 86. Bear with me. Psalms. Yeah, this is the book of Psalms 86. And in verse 14 says, O Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, the proud are risen against me, and the assemblies of violent men have sought after my soul. See? And have not set thee before them. See? So this man is going to be assemblies of violent men, meaning what? The military, man. This is how he always rationalize things out. Just look at this man and his trap record. You look at it, and that's how he was able to come up on top, man. He never diplomatically did anything. That's why I said his chamber spirit gonna be on his glory. You got a nigga, he got all this, he got a mansion, he got all this type of power and cars and everything, but you go back and see how this nigga came up. You like, damn, this nigga ain't came up the right way, man. And that's how it is with the so-called white man. But it's going to get to the point of time where, guess what? They're saying what goes around comes around. And what's going to come to this man? Violence. This is how this place is going to be overthrown. Or it tells you that pretty much it was that destruction was to slay the third part of men, which was the Edomites. In this third chapter, of this man and his power structure, man. So this destruction is dedicated to this nigga right here, which is going to be violent, man, by the way of war. We just read it continually are they gathered together for war. So this war that they about to get into, they're not coming out on this one, man. When the smoke clear and the dust settle, these devils not going to be the last one standing, man. So this is Psalm 7, and I started at verse 14. Said, "Behold, he travaileth with iniquity; he have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood." See, if you conceive mischief, meaning it was in the making before it was brought forth. Before so-called skinny jeans and dyed hair was a thing, you had these devils. In these different secret councils and meetings saying, how can we keep these niggas and have them further in derision? How can we get these niggas from start wearing the tall tees to wearing goddamn skinny jeans and a shirt that don't go past your belly button? But these niggas conceived that and brought it forth, and used some rap nigga to push that, and it was brought forth. It said, and brought forth falsehood. See, because this man speak with a double tongue. It said he made a pit and digged it, and it's falling into the ditch which he made, because ultimately it's going to come back upon him. He's the one that's going to, he's trying to have everybody as a perpetual slave, not knowing that he's the one that's going to fall into that ditch. And it's starting now. His wisdom is perishing. Ain't everybody can see through this man and what he's trying to do. It says, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come upon his own pate. See? So his violent dealing, meaning what? That's how he always got down. He always got down by the way of violence. Like I said, even by the way of peacekeepers. How you gonna call yourself a peacekeeper, but you got an M16 in your hand with military gear? You got 90 pounds of military gear, an M16, and you got a few jets and drones hovering over the land, man. So this shit gonna come upon this man. Oh, it tells you that whoever perishes being innocent, and what will the righteous cut out? As I seen as they pile iniquity and sow wickedness, they're gonna reap the same. So everything this man have done to the earth and everything within it is gonna come back upon him. Which what this man have been doing? Those violent dealings, man. Oh, injuries, deceits, and those violent dealings is gonna come back upon this man. So yeah, I just hope to edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the teacher's word in all true faith and sincerity. DTA, abide by.